So now we will deal with force experienced by a submerged body and the center of pressure of that applied force. Okay, total applied force. So center of pressure is the point of application of the resultant pressure on an immersed body. Okay, so if you are immersing in a body in a static fluid, so the resultant pressure will be applied at H star. Okay, and total hydrostatic force on a body submerged in the fluid is independent of inclination of the surface. Okay, so whether it's you are putting in a vertical height or horizontally or inclined, it does not depend on the theta value. Okay, so total hydrostatic force acting on a plane surface is independent of the plane surface inclination of the surface. So F will always equal to rho g a h bar. Okay, so h bar is the height of the centroid of the area from the free surface. Okay, rho is the density of the fluid, g is the gravity, a is the area of that plane surface. Now first we will see with the horizontal surface. So this is the horizontal surface. At each point from the free surface, the height is only h. Okay, so total hydrostatic force is equal to rho g h bar, and center of pressure and distance of centroid is equal to distance from the free surface. All are the same. Okay, center of pressure, distance of the centroid is equal to distance from the free surface. Now since we have studied this h bar, okay, so centroid has to be known. That how will we get that centroid value? So these are the figures generally we are asked in GATE or any competition. So these are the areas that we will concerned with, whether it's a rectangle, triangle, semicircle, quarter circle or a circle. So for different these areas we are having this h bar or distance of the centroid. Okay, but in that question that rho g a h bar, okay, h bar is computed from the free surface. Don't get confused with this h bar that you are getting, because here we will be computing this h bar according to this diagram. Okay, so you have to mark this. Okay, that this h bar is related to this area. You have to put that in that formula. H bar is distance of the centroid from the free surface. Okay, so where this centroid is, I am stating in this presentation. Okay, that I am telling you that where the centroid is. Okay, don't just copy paste this h bar value in that formula. Okay, so depending on the area we will have the centroid value. So or in a rectangle, okay, this is the respective hr values. Okay, h bar values. So h bar value is equal to d by 2. Here h bar is h by 3, here h bar is h by r by 3 pi, and here h bar is hr by 3 pi. Same for semicircle and quarter circle, it's the same, and for circle it's d by 2, that means at the center. Okay, here also in rectangle it's at the intersection of the diagonals. Okay, in the triangle centroid is, you know that centroid where it, so h by 3. Okay, also we have area moment of inertia. Okay, area moment of inertia, we will also deal with area moment of inertia in computing the center of pressure. Okay, so center of pressure will be computed using area moment of inertia about the gravity, about the centroid. Okay, so area moment of inertia about the centroid here is BD cube by 12. Okay, about this axis. Okay, you have to check the axis also. So we are taking this axis parallel to B. Okay, parallel to B. So it's BD cube by 12. Okay, if we had been taking this parallel to D, then it would have been DB cube by 12. Okay, so you have to understand this, that this is BD cube by 12. Now this is BH cube by 36. Okay, B is the base, H is the height. For semicircle it's 0.1098 r to the power 4. Okay, r is the radius. Okay, so approximately will remember only 0.11 r4. Okay, for quarter circle it's 0.055 r4. Okay, half of this. Okay, so it's half of this. And for circle we know pi d4 by 64. We have to deal with a strength of materials also. So in a strength of materials you will be using this formula pi d4 by 64 everywhere. So for a circular area we have this pi d4 by 64 as the area moment of inertia about the centroid. Now total hydrostatic force on an inclined surface. Okay, because for a horizontal surface nothing matters. Okay, it's just a horizontal surface, all are the same, h bar is same, h star is same, h is same. So in the horizontal surface all nothing matters, center of pressure is same. But in inclined surface or a vertical surface we will have different h bar values. Okay, so this is the h bar, means the distance of the centroid from the free surface, and this is h star, means distance of the center of pressure from the free surface. Okay, okay, exclude this term, this theta is equal to 90 degree for both horizontal and vertical. Remove this. Okay, don't copy this, remove this term. Just h bar is equal to bi bar sine theta. Bi bar is the inclined height. Okay, so h bar is equal to bi bar sine theta. Okay, this is the theta. Okay, exclude this, theta is equal to 90 degree for both vertical and horizontal surface. Exclude this term. Okay, don't write this. So we have h bar is equal to bi bar sine theta. A is the area of the plate, total area of the plate. Okay, not the projected one. Okay, real area of the plate. Okay, because projected area is only concerned with curved surfaces. Okay, it's not a curved surface, it's an inclined surface only. Plane surface is there, plane surface and just an inclined one. Okay, so A is the area of the plate, and total hydrostatic force is equal to rho g a h bar. Okay, what the fuck? So h bar is there. Okay, as have been computing this, the total hydrostatic force is equal to rho g a h bar. Okay, and center of pressure is equal to Ig sin square theta by a h bar plus h bar. Okay, so this is h bar. So you have to compute center of pressure from this. So center of pressure is always greater than h bar. Okay, so center of pressure is always at more depth than the centroid. Okay, so you have to change this at this h into h bar. Okay, and don't write this, that theta value. Okay, theta is 90 degree for horizontal and vertical surface. It's wrong, because for a horizontal surface theta will go 0. Okay, it will not fit in the formula, so don't that's why I'm saying that don't write this. Okay, don't, this theta value don't write, remember these. Okay, that total hydrostatic force is equal to rho g a h bar. It's written h, it should be h bar. Okay, and h star, that is center of pressure height, is equal to Ig sin square theta by a h bar plus h bar. Now total hydrostatic force on a vertical surface. Okay, so this is the distance of the centroid. Okay, this is the fluid, red one is the vertical surface. Once again, I have not seen here h bar, so you must know that h star is much deeper than h bar. Okay, so total hydrostatic force is equal to rho g a h bar, and center of pressure is equal to Ig by a h bar plus h bar. Okay, in the inclined surface we are having sin square theta term. Here we are not having this sin square theta term because this is not inclined, this is a vertical one. Okay, now center of pressure is always below than h bar. Okay, for both inclined and vertical, and at the same for horizontal. Total hydrostatic force on a curved surface. Okay, so if the first surface has been curved. Okay, so here we compute two forces, first the horizontal force and the vertical force. Now in computing vertical force we are deal with different numericals where we can do the mistakes. That's why I'm making three diagrams here. Okay, so you can understand it better. So in the first case, this is the way liquid has been filled. In the second case, this is the way liquid has been filled. Okay, and in the third case, this is the way liquid has been filled. Okay, okay, these surfaces are okay. So correspondingly, these are the FB values that force in the vertical we are getting. Okay, okay. So here in the first case, we have seen that fluid is in this part. Okay, while there is no fluid in this part. Okay, now area experienced by the curved surface is FV. Here FV is acting upwards. Okay, because buoyancy force is here, liquid has been displaced. Okay, at the if the this area has not been here, the total height would have been the same. Okay, here the fluid would have been. Okay, but you have not allotted the fluid, means the fluid has been displaced from here. Okay, the fluid has been displaced from this area, so here buoyancy is acting. So FB is this portion. Okay, the portion that has been removed. Okay, so FB is acting upwards and FB is the weight displaced. Okay, this volume displaced. Okay, so FB is the volume of this area which has been left out. Now in this case liquid has been filled and FB is acting downwards. Okay, in this portion liquid is, if the same, if it had been filled here, so FB is acting downwards. If it would, the FB would have been acting downwards, but it's a vacant one, so FB is acting upwards. Okay, in the same question, if you had put it here, it doesn't mean that FB had been acting only here. It would have been 0 because it could have cancelled out. So because it also, you can see that if you put this figure into here, all that pressure would be, there would be no any pressure gradient, so everywhere the same pressure would be happening and there would not have been any force. Okay, so understand this. Okay, so here the volume of fluid has been displaced, so here it's acting buoyancy. Okay, is equal to weight of the fluid that has been displaced. Okay, here the fluid is filled upon the curved surface, so FV is acting downwards. Now in the third question, okay, here both liquid has been displaced in this part and liquid is acting downwards in this part. Okay, so FB is acting downwards here while FB is acting upwards here. Okay, and for that FH, so FH is equal to rho g AH bar. Okay, where A and H bar of the projected area. So suppose this is, okay, so projected area of this one. So assume that maybe it's a cylinder. Okay, so projected area of a cylinder in the horizontal direction will be a rectangle. Okay, projected area will be a rectangle. So area of the rectangle and h bar of the rectangle. If you are taking this figure, so a and h bar will be of the rectangle, and fb, as I have said, that weight of the liquid vertically above the curved surface up to the free surface. Okay, h bar for fh is h star plus ig ah bar plus, as a vertical surface you have to compute this, that hydrostatic pressure is computed from this. Okay, so center of pressure for a horizontal force. Okay, so center of pressure for a horizontal force is h star is equal to ig by a into h bar plus h bar. Okay, and both this a and h bar of the projected area. Okay, and center of pressure of the vertical force is center of gravity of the fluid displaced or vertically above the curved surface. Okay, so this is the center, if center of gravity of this fluid or center of gravity of this fluid that has been displaced. Okay, okay. Now if it had been a sphere, means that this is a spherical dome, so projected area would be a circle. Okay, now drag force. Okay, so drag force is equal to coefficient of drag into fluid density into area projected in the direction of flow into velocity of the flow by 2. Okay, as I have said, if it had been a cylinder, the projected area will be a rectangle. Okay, so in case of cylinder, the projected area is a rectangle, and lift force is equal to coefficient of lift into density into projected area into v square by 2. V is the velocity of the fluid. Now drag force on a sphere is equal to 3 pi mu vd. Mu is the dynamic viscosity, v is the velocity of the sphere that is moving downwards, and d is the diameter. Okay, so drag force is 3 pi mu vd. Okay, drag force on a sphere. Now we have one question. Okay, that are you given two kinds of tank. Okay, one having a larger base, one having the lower base. Okay, so whether the force acting at bottom will be same or not. So we have seen that at same height the pressure is same. Okay, but force is equal to pressure into area. So even if the pressure is same but area is different, the force experienced will be different. Okay, so here we have having force is equal to P into A2, while here we having force is equal to P into A1. Okay, while the P is same for both rho G H1 plus H2. Okay, now another thing, that the velocity of output of the fluid. Okay, so velocity of output fluid also depends upon the height of the exit from the free surface. Okay, it doesn't matter how the surface is, how that diagram is, the only thing that concerns it, height from the free surface. Okay, so in the first case we are having root 2 gh, because this is the exit and this is the height of the liquid up to free surface. Here we are having, in both case we are having v is equal to root 2 g h plus l. Okay, here it's saying that it's just a pipe which goes in onwards up to the tank. Okay, and here there are no pipe. Okay, so whether it's a pipe or no pipe, the exit velocity of the fluid will be the same, because it depends upon the height from the free surface only. Okay, so thank you.